Hey, come here. I don't know what your religion is. I don't know if Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior. I don't know if you're Hebrew. I don't know what you are, but I have some news for you. And it's very important. Do you know why the Easter Bunny hides eggs? Ask yourself, why does the Easter Bunny hide eggs? And I'll tell you why. He don't want nobody to know he fucks chickens. Welcome to the Easter special. I don't know if you've been running around looking for colored eggs all day. I don't know if you got some dick or you got some pussy and you were painting eggs today. But welcome to the IIP Easter fucking special. Welcome. You know, normally I'm gonna do this on the 1st and 15th, but I also say I like to do things that I like to do it on days that black people find special. Black people find symbolic. I like to be there for the party. Now, I may not be there with you in physical form, but I'm going to be there with you in the mental form, spiritual form, you know. And I know this is a day that we hold sacred. You know, the churches, because Jesus Christ died on this day. Well, not on this day, but he rose on this day. He died on Good Friday. It's kind of fucked up they call it Good Friday, but Jesus Christ died on a Friday. He slept all day Saturday, and then he rose from the dead on Sunday, if you believe that type of thing. So this is a day that our people, we hold real big. I mean, Jesus is so big to us, we came on the slave ship named after him. Another story. But I'm here for you today. I'm here for you. For me too, but I'm here mostly for you. And we're gonna talk about some shit. Now, we don't have this big gap between the last time I spoke to you, but we do have a gap. And there were some things on the last show I didn't even bring up. So I'm going to bring that shit up on Easter Sunday. And we're going to talk about it. Well, I'm going to talk about it. You're going to listen about it. You're going to talk to yourself about it. And then you're probably going to write me back saying, "Fuck you, Mango. You can't say that, Mango. That's not nice, Mango. That's not PC, Mango." Fuck you. But I love you. God going to bless you. And God going to stress you. Shumalaya. All right, let's get into some IIP gangster shit. All right, first thing, right? Excuse me. Gotta talk about Lil Nas X. I've been getting a lot of people asking me, like, "Hey, what do you think about Lil Nas X?" Bro, listen, here's the thing, right? People do that shit where, like, they ask you for your opinion and then try to portray their shit on you. They're like, "Hey, what do you think about Lil Nas X? Because this is what I think about it." Then they tell you to spill how they feel. Then be like, "Okay, now how do you feel?" I tell everybody the same thing. If it's a non-ADOS person I'm talking to, I say, "Hey, it is what it is," you know. But if it's a ADOS person I'm talking to, I get a little bit more in depth with it. But the basis of both of my conversations is this: Lil Nas X, all this shit he's doing, it's for white people. I mean, listen, he came out with that one song, the fucking taking a horse and shit down whatever with Miley Cyrus daddy. Fucking cool, right? It was like a hit because of you guys know the story. But I ain't really see black people riding through the hood bumping that shit. Not like that. If they did, it was funny, you know. But he got a taste of money off of there. And the thing, right after that, you know, he comes out the closet and all this stuff. Like, that's marketing to white people, man. This whole video, the music, man. The music, I think he's musically, he's pretty good. The gimmicks and the stuff that come with it, the art, I don't want to say gimmick, but the artistry that he uses, that majority sells to white people. I don't think he had no intention of selling that. Because, well, black people, as soon as you do some shit with the devil, it was the Antichrist. No, he's not trying to sell that to us. He's selling that to the fucking consumer. This is the reason, right? When I say, like, that's my overall message, right? But when I talk to black people, I say, don't bash him. I say, don't bash our brother. because what he's doing is what a lot of artists can't do, and that's developing a form of economic freedom. Now, you may not agree with the message. Cool. You may not like it. I mean, I don't fuck with the message. I don't fuck with none of that shit. But I got love for him on the economic freedom stance. He's finding a way to get himself off a plantation. I can't never knock nobody from getting himself off a fucking plantation. Whatever you got to do, I mean, whatever you can live with doing. Not whatever you got to do, whatever you can live with doing. Go for it. So, decisions he made, as far as his artistry and this and that, he's a grown-ass man, and he has to live with that shit. If he has grandchildren, they're going to ask him questions, whatever, and he can explain that shit. But my big part about it is I automatically saw the economic freedom he was establishing for himself. So black people, don't knock him. Don't knock him for getting off the plantation, because motherfuckers, they'll knock him while he's coming up with a plan to escape, and then when he's in Canada, they're going to be like, oh yeah, but he really did that shit, and they just hate on him. Like, no. Listen, man. Let that man get off the plantation the best way he see how. So yeah, don't knock him. Don't knock him. He's marketing to a bigger consumer. Black people don't even buy music like that. Last time you talked to a black person, they're like, I can't wait to go out and buy a such and such CD. Niggas be stealing music, period. Niggas be stealing movies, music, all forms of entertainment. Niggas trying to steal it. They want it for free. So the only people really buy music like that, what to the most one, is Caucasian people. So let him market to the fucking consumer. That makes him a producer. You either a consumer or a producer. I mean, you could be both, but majority, 60-40, you're either going to be a consumer or a producer. The people you find that have the least amount of money, they're 60% consumers and 40% producers at the most. So, fuck it, let him get his freedom. But the one thing with me, I don't trust shit with corporations behind it. That's like Black Lives Matter, that's civil rights movements, and we're going to talk about civil next, but Black Lives Matter, civil rights movement, like this whole shit in Georgia with the voting shit going on. I haven't read the bill, right? I just seen arguments like, oh, they said we can't give people water, and the governor's like, yeah, you can give people water, get the fuck out of it, and they're going back and forth. It wasn't until I seen all the corporations getting involved where MLB was like, oh, we're not doing shit in Georgia because you're voting suppression. It's like, oh. So this is what it took for y'all to take some kind of stand on some shit. Because I remember when Trayvon was murdered and Breonna Taylor was murdered. It wasn't like in Florida, it wasn't no fucking shit from corporations really. And what was that, Kentucky? There was no kind of corporational, standstill. Atlanta, this ain't the first this ain't the first thing to happen. There were people last year. What was it? The Ahmaud Arbery. Ahmaud Arbery. They didn't fucking stop what they was doing then. But all of a sudden, it's like, oh, okay, we can't be a part of that, right? Well, your headquarters in New York. Why y'all didn't have the same energy when fucking the brother got choked out for selling loose cigarettes? Why y'all didn't? Why the cigarette companies didn't step in for him? Why none of this shit? When corporations get behind some shit, because I don't think no corporation cares about the people. I think they care about the capitalistic values, right? The only way they stop and care for the people is if you're like, hey, that's our customer. Then don't think these corporations are coming from a place of kind-heartedness. I saw the shit with the NFL. Last year, after George Floyd, they know people was mad. It was riots and this and that. Next thing you know, it's Black Lives Matter over everything on the field. It's Black Lives Matter all over Madden. It's Black Lives Matter everywhere that has to do with the NFL, right? And who saw this more than probably me and you? Was probably Kaepernick, who was sitting at his house because he didn't have a fucking job. So you changed Black Lives Matter, and you're all on you're on this fad because the fucking corporations are jumping on it, but you still didn't right your wrongs yet. Why does Kaepernick not have a job? Right? I watched fucking Garner Minshew run the Jags, and I like Garner, but I watched Garner Minshew run the Jags straight through a season. I don't even know who his backup was. Kaepernick didn't get a shot for that position. Think about the quarterbacks that went down, all this and that. Kaepernick sat at home and watched everybody take his message that he portrayed, a while back. Now, he didn't do it on the Black Lives Matter. He did it on the peaceful protest. But, fuck it, right? So, yeah, when corporations get involved in shit, I don't give a fuck what it is. I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm out. I don't fuck with corporations. I saw something on Martin Luther King when they were doing the bus protests. And one of the buses, if you look in the background, had Pepsi sponsorships all around it, right? And I'm not gonna knock Pepsi or any shit like that, but I don't even fuck with Pepsi. I mean, straight up, I drink Coke, but whatever. The Pepsi people, they had their sponsorships all on those same segregated buses. And so these corporations, man, they don't give a shit about the people. I mean, what they do care about the people, that's the customer. That's the customer. So whenever I see corporations or big entities get behind something or they're fighting for something, I'm always looking like, what's the catch? Because to me, all of them devils. All of them, and that goes into my philosophy with Jim Crow. When Jim Crow was around and black people couldn't shop with white people and all this and that, black people had a better shot at wealth because they only spent money, well, they didn't only, but the majority of the time they spent money within their community. So we had more producers. And it was an equal amount of consumers. It's like, hey, I need suits, so I'm going to go buy it from the black tailor. The black tailor's like, hey, I need gas, so I'm going to the black gas station. And a lot of white people saw how much money we were making and spending. It was staying within the community. Because as soon as integration happened, integration never really happened, right? With the thought of immigration, it's like, we're going to share each other's resources, right? With integration, they just said, okay, get rid of all the nigger shit, and y'all could use some of our shit, on hand. And look at the school system. Like, we had our own schools. We might not have had the best school material as like white schools did, but the difference is the teachings were more indirect. I'm sorry, not indirect, but more direct. Where like, the teacher was a black lady. She was teaching her black students, and she had a pride towards them. When integration first starts, they just get rid of the black schools, and a lot of these black boys and girls, they go to white schools, and this white teacher don't care if fucking Jaquan gets a good education. She just has to teach him because she's getting paid to. And I think a lot of that leads into the ESC system, or the special education system, where a lot of kids you have in special education don't need special education. They just don't got the time for them. So they stick them in there. And if you look at how special education classes ran, a lot of times you're going to see a bunch of able-bodied black kids in there that have, quote-unquote, mental issues, right? And if you think about it, it's just a setup for the prison system. It's a prison system. Most of the motherfuckers I've seen in special education, most of them that were black ended up in a chain gang in some kind of way. Think about it at your school. Think about the niggas who was in special education. Think about the white kids who was in special education. Some of them was from the trailer parks. Those, like, the rules apply to, like, trailer park white kids. Or you had, like, kids from trailer parks and stuff. They'd be in some situation with some black kids from the hood. And that's why I think everybody, like, confuses classism. Like, classism is the new racism. Like, no, but it's close. So, like, trailer park kids and kids from the projects, they're thrown there. But if you think about it, that's what you get in your prison population. You're going to get poor whites, poor blacks, and that makes up your prison population. Going into it, right? But when you look at the kids that are not, like the white kids that are not poor or whatever, most of them really do have mental issues. I remember seeing a class when I was in high school. It was a kid in a wheelchair. It was a girl with autism. It was, I don't remember the whole makeup of them, but I used to see them every day at lunch, and they used to make them walk in a straight line. This is in high school. They used to make them walk to a straight line to the cafeteria, and then they would get their food, and they would walk, and they ate off in a different section, but they went in the same hallway all fucking day. They went in the same hallway. They never leave the hallway except for to go to lunch, right? And then, fucking, you look at it years later, I'm thinking like, man, that's fucking, you kept them away from the general population, prison. They eat differently than the general population, prison, right? You got them secluded in this small little space, prison. The rest of the school is walking around. You're going to the gym, you're going all over here. These people got to walk in uniform order like they did something wrong. So, it's a big fucking thing. But yeah, now the corporations and Lil Nas X and all that shit, like, I don't really, Lil Nas X, like I said, when you get a big entity behind you, I'm like, nah, I don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with it at all. But like, I salute my brother. I wish him the best and all that stuff. I don't have anything bad to say about him like that. Anything bad I have to say, if I ever talk to him, I would say to him. I wouldn't say it to the world. The only thing I would say is, like, his message ain't for me, but I salute my brother for economic freedom, for finding himself for economic freedom. And if that's his true art form, I salute him for finding a way that he can, like, truly fucking just give you his heart. That's what he truly feels. If that's not what he truly feels, I still salute my brother for finding a way to get himself off a plantation. Happy Easter, bitches. Hey man, shout out to Michael Collier. Michael Collier taught me this. If you don't know who Michael Collier is, look at me. It's fucking awesome. Okay, fucking awesome. Michael Collier taught me some shit, and I learned this when I was a kid. It's called a condom rule. Okay, and I'm giving y'all this because on Easter, I know a lot of y'all getting y'all eggs painted. You're getting it painted. Your eggs painted. So, okay, listen, there's condoms come in 3 different variety packs, right? There's a 6-pack, there's an 8-pack, and there's a 12-pack. The 6-pack, that's for the Hispanic brothers, That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sabado. But they don't do no fucking on Sunday. The 8-pack, that's for them brothers, you know what I mean? That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, twice on Sunday. The 12-pack, man, that's for our Caucasian brothers. That's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Get you pussy. Hey man, I wanna give an acknowledgement to all the good cops in the world before I say what I'm gonna say. There are a bunch of good cops that, like, they joined the force because of the motherfuckers on the force that's pieces of shit. And they said, I'm gonna join because I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna actually represent the people. I'm actually gonna be the best I can be for these people, right? And a lot of time y'all motherfuckers get a bad rap. A lot of time y'all motherfuckers get, like, shitted on. Cause it's only a few of y'all. We ain't gonna fucking, no, I ain't gonna do that shit where I say it's a bunch of good cops and there's a few bad ones. Nah, in my opinion, the majority of y'all motherfuckers full of shit. And all y'all bad. And it's a few good ones. So, when they try to get us to flip that shit like, well, yeah, there's a few bad apples. Nah. Your whole crop is bad. It's just a couple good ones that they're okay. Right? And y'all trying to expand on their goodness where they got to go out of their way to be extra good because the rest of them pieces of shit. So, for those few good apples, I want to say, yo, man, keep doing what y'all doing. Like, y'all doing great. I know a bunch of y'all that, like, really look out for the people, man. I never forget, I saw this cop catch this kid with a nickel bag. And he just said, man, what the fuck you doing? What the fuck you doing, da-da-da? And you know what? He ain't take him to jail. He scolded the shit out of that motherfucker. Like, he gave him the run in the middle, but he did not take him to jail because he didn't want that on record. And this cop was actually a white man talking to a black kid. Just, I mean, what the fuck are you doing? He didn't need to do no paperwork. He didn't do none of that. It was, man, get your shit together. Come on, man. Come on. How they talk that Hulk Hogan and shit. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. You don't need to do that, brother. But that shit was big to me. I remember seeing that. Like, that shit was big. He could have took him to jail and all this shit, but he didn't. And then you got cops that's fabricating evidence, which is the total opposite side. And I can't lie, I done seen both sides of this fence. I done seen that cop that he don't want people in jail for victimless crimes. He don't want people in jail for that shit. He want to be a role model to his community. He want to do good to his community. But then you got that motherfucker, that motherfucker, and he's a piece of shit. You know what I mean? He's a piece of fucking shit. And you know what? In my opinion, 90% of cops are that motherfucker. I don't fuck with the police union. Fuck them. Um, I don't fuck with 90% of the motherfuckers. Now, on my behalf, my judgment call, the good apples, I treat them motherfuckers like they in the 90 of the bad motherfuckers off rip. You gonna have to earn your love from me, motherfucker, straight up. But I know they exist. So, after holding a conversation or doing something like that, when I'm getting pulled over or whatever, I'm gonna see where they stand. And then, I'm not gonna make my judgment, because my judgment, I'm prejudiced to cops. I see a light come on, I say, oh shit, here come the Klan. Right? By the end of my conversation, I'm gonna know if I was right, or I'm gonna say, oh man, I prejudged that motherfucker. With that being said, like I say, shout out to the good apples, the 10% of you or less in all of America. Shout outs to y'all, man. I really fucking appreciate y'all. I really do. Like, straight up, I really do. Now, to the other 90% of them bad apples, hey, if you get a second, go fuck yourself, right? Fuck yourself with a pine cone with honey on it for lubrication, and make sure your grandmother watches. Okay, fuck yourself with a pine cone with honey on it for lubrication, and make sure your granny watches. And while you at it, get the rose and put it on your nipple so you enjoy it a little bit. And fuck yourself with a baton. Fuck yourself with your 9mm. Fuck yourself with all that. When you get done doing all the fuck yous that I'm telling you, you shouldn't even have a noise when you fart. You should go. That's how you should fart. Fuck all y'all. Fuck the police. Fuck 12. If it was up to me, I would have went from 11 to 13. I would have did 11 twice, just so I didn't have to fuck with 12. Fuck 12. Hey, I want to take this moment to talk about Chauvin, whatever the fuck his name is, the nigga who, well, not the nigga, I'll just take that back, the devil who killed George Floyd. He on trial right now. At first I was like heated. I was going to talk about it on the last episode, but I was real heated about it because I kept noticing it kept saying the George Floyd case. And I was like, man, the fuck? This nigga ain't on trial. He dead, The Chauvin trial. This Chauvin motherfucker. And, like, I personally think he going to get off. I think he going to get off. I think he's gonna beat this shit. I think what we're looking at is Zimmerman 2.0, the upgraded version. That's my opinion. The results ain't came out yet, but that's what I feel. So if it happens, remember I said it here. A lot of the shit is like, I feel like a lot of the times the state with these fucking devils is they don't really want to persecute them. They just want to save face and put them on trial. But when they get them in trial and shit, they half-ass it. They go way harder, in my opinion, to drug dealers and pimps and all of these people that ain't killing nobody. They just trying to survive, but they not surviving in the etiquette that they want them to. They go way harder against them, but I watched it. And it was kind of hard watching. I can't watch this trial too much because I think I know what's gonna happen. And I said it a year ago. I think he's gonna get off. I think the white boys who kill Ahmaud Arbery, I think they're gonna get off. I think like all of these people, Breonna Taylor's case, I think they're gonna get off. We got a false illusion last year, like, oh yeah, they're not gonna get off. We're mad. Everybody's mad. We gotta remember it was a campaign year. It was a campaign year. But what happens is, the truth of it is, if these people don't get off, you're going to change the structure. You're going to change the structure. You're going to change how shit goes, right? During a political year, oh yeah, it's fucking, oh yeah, no, that's wrong. Everybody acknowledges the wrong. Everybody's considerate about your ass when motherfuckers need your vote. But as soon as that voting's done, oh, the game done changed up. Now they're looking at all of the details to, in that situation, is he mentally all there? To talk about that shit, man. It's a fucking white boy. He killed an 8 or 9 year old girl. He kidnapped her, like raped her and beat her in the head with a shovel and all this shit. That motherfucker go to court and he's mentally insane. But, you know, the story I reported was he's a white supremacist and all this and that. So he's mentally sane enough to decide I want to be a white supremacist. But he's not mentally sane enough to know I shouldn't fucking kill a kid. I shouldn't rape a kid. I shouldn't do this and that. What does that happen at? You know, he's not mentally sane enough to not know right from wrong. Your worst fucking people in the world, like in prison, they kill motherfuckers for that. So these people in prison where we send our bad people, right? They're so bad, they're so unfit for society. But yet when you send a fucking child molester there, they beat the fuck out of them. Because everybody knows. I mean, it's a difference between doing crimes for survival and it's a difference between doing crime because you're evil. Right? But these people who are in prison, a lot of times you send them fucking rapists and child molesters. Guess what? They get done in. They don't get no fucking, it's a different whole type of justice. Listen, don't say my platform told motherfuckers to promote it. I'm just telling you what it is. I'm telling you what it is while motherfuckers telling you what it could be. No, this is what it is. So, with that being said, this motherfucker, 8 or 9 years old, kidnaps her, fucking rapes, like murders her, beats her in the head with a shovel, murders her. Just fucked up shit, man. And I don't know if he like killed her, then raped her, or raped her, then killed her. I don't fucking know. But this motherfucker is not fit to stand trial. How? If anything, put him out of his fucking misery. Because he's a danger to society. Now, I'm wondering, right? Him being this white boy and his victim being a fucking 8, 9-year-old little black girl. If that was a little white girl named Emily, how fit would he be to stand trial? Because I know it's people in prison for less. And a lot of them are not mentally there. But yet they got a prison sentence. Oh, they damn sure got a prison sentence. So think about that shit, man. What the fuck is so mentally, like when they arrested him, did they shoot him in his brain? Like, am I missing something? Because the motherfucker was mentally capable of fulfilling these fucking sick ass acts, right? But you know, that goes into what I'm saying. Like, when I listen to the Chauvin trial, they're talking about the environment. Oh, it was so chaotic. The environment was so chaotic. That's what they're trying to get to. They're trying to make it seem like, oh, he kept his knee on his neck for 9 minutes because the people around him. So it's like the people's fault that he did it. That's what it seems like they're getting to. But the truth of the matter is the people was outrageous because your knee was on his fucking neck for 9 minutes and such seconds. And he's dead. But I heard something saying it was 3. I read something saying it was 3 different coroner reports. And then they're talking about what this cop did, what that cop did, what this cop did, what that cop did. They're trying to establish reasonable doubt. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get reasonable doubt. I haven't seen the jury. They're not showing the jury. But I'm going to tell you right now, if it's a fucking 80-year-old white woman on there, right? If it's a bunch of them type of people where they're like, well, you know what? I remember back in the good days, you know, I used to drink from a water fountain knowing nigger lips ain't never touched them. That's like a real thing. He getting off. Now, if this motherfucker got a jury of his peers and all of them look like they motherfucking from NWA, he might be fucked. But I don't think they did that. That's why I think they're not showing the jury. They're trying to be suspenseful about it. But, you know, hopefully I'm wrong and they get this motherfucker like 8 life sentences, right? But if I'm right, going off of my gut feeling, I really think this is Zimmerman 2.0. This is Zimmerman 2.0. Hey, by the way, I don't know if I'm saying his name right. You guys might know his name better than me. I'm saying Chauvin. Is it Chauvin or is it Chauvin? Okay, so if it's Chauvin, I just want to say, fuck him. And if it's Chauvin, I just want to say, fuck him. Happy Easter, bitches. It's been many different allegations to who hurts black people the most in America, or who has hurt black people the most in America. You know, it's kind of hard to pinpoint it to one person. you say like this president, that president, this person, that fucking governor, this senator, this such and such, and there's always different people. I've even heard some black names. I heard, Martin Luther King hurt black people. I heard, Malcolm X hurt black people. I heard all these different things, and they're all incorrect. I'm here today to tell you, we as a people, involuntary immigrant descendants, we as a people, those people, we need to find this motherfucker, man. I got his name. We gotta find, I don't know if it's a he or she, but we have to find this motherfucker, because he has hurt us the worst in the last fucking 60 years, or whatever the fuck the time being. This motherfucker's name is Civil. His name is Civil. Her name is Civil. He or she name is Civil. We need to find fucking Civil, because Civil's fucking us up. We've been out here marching, protesting, rioting, all of this different things. We've been talking, we've been praying, we've been doing all of this shit, and Civil is fucking winning. Civil has rights. We don't. I just saw that there was a new such and such added to civil's rights. New amendments added to civil's rights. Civil's always getting shit, and those people get nothing. So whenever somebody's telling you how civil's rights are good for you, civil's rights ain't good for us. We have not seen any kind of benefit off of civil's rights. Fuck Civil. I ain't never seen Civil. I look at that like, well, we're on East, so let's talk about it. When they say like, Jesus Christ died for your sins. Like, how can Jesus Christ die for our sins? I believe Jesus Christ died for the sins of the Europeans, because Jesus tried to fix things, and he was murdered according to the scriptures. And it's a whole different ball game when you get into what I believe, because I start talking numbers and you be lost in the sauce. But Jesus said, "Ye are gods. Ye are gods." Jesus got killed for blasphemy. But the scriptures tell you that ye are gods when he's talking to, the children. Ye are gods. God made mankind in his image and likeness. So a lot of times you start thinking you a peasant. Yeah, there's one God, there's a supreme God, yeah, but ye are gods, that's what Jesus said. And he was killed for blasphemy. So what sin could he die for yours? Well, that sin is primarily not knowing what the fuck you are. You don't know what you are, and he told you. But he died so you can know. That's the story. Like, go back and look. He died so you can know that ye are gods. He brought that to the forefront. His charge was blasphemy. Blasphemy. And that's why he was murdered. So if you're telling me Jesus died for our sins, well, it had to be because he said ye are gods. Because after he says that, he's charged with blasphemy. So we get back to the civil portion of it. This whole civil rights is everybody. I always heard of civil rights. When you think of civil rights, you think, oh, that's for black people. No. Civil is for civil. A lot of black people, myself included, think black people need a different set of rights. Because we're going to get into the race, right? Race is just that. It's like a race. Now, here's how our race went in America. Black people were just like held down for the first 100 years, and everybody else advanced. And then you had different people come into the race, and they were just advancing. And then they said, you march, set, go. Everything's equal. So imagine that you have one race of people, they're on the other side of the track. You have another race of people, they're like 3/4 over. You have another race of people, they're still like, maybe such and such feet ahead of you, this and that. But everybody's got a head start before, and then they say you're equal. And you say, man, this shit ain't fair. They say, no, what do you mean? This is equal. It don't get no more equal than here. Like, yeah, just because it don't get no more equal than here, quote unquote, it don't make it right. So the only thing you can do to find balance is you need to advance these people that have been cheated for the first 300 years of a race. You have to advance them. You can't just say, well, pick yourself up by the bootstraps like I did. You can't say that because you did. You know, I'm going off of like true history. I'm not saying like the white man's just holding us down. No, I'm giving you a race. This is a race, and you can't reach equality. Like if everybody started off equal and, you know, a certain race just declined and this and that, that's what it is. But you can't start off with hundreds of years of slavery, no education, while you advance yourself, and then say, okay, everything's equal now. Go out and be something. The same thing is happening with a lot of Geechee people in South Carolina, where they've been on a farm, they choose to stay eradicated, but now they're losing their land and they have to go to the city. They're not educated people. I mean, they're educated to the knowledge that they needed for survival, but they're not educated for the city life. They're not educated for American city life. They stay with their culture. So you're culture shocking them, and a lot of them are grown-ups. The hardest thing to do is teach a grown-up motherfucker something. But they're going to go to these fucking big cities, and a lot of them might find themselves homeless or, you know, just like lost, man. And we've seen this shit on a big scale as far as America. Now, all the great shit that those people have been able to do in America is astonishing. So much influence. That's why black people run so fast. Because they have to run faster than the man on the other side of the track who got a head start. Metaphorically speaking. And literally speaking. You know? So, what we got to do is, like, we got to find civil. We got to look into, like, what's up with civil, man? What's up with civil? Because civil has the face of somebody for us. But in reality, civil ain't doing shit for us too much. Only thing civil's doing is allowing you to feel a certain way after you learn about it in school. You feel a certain level of pride, like, yeah, my people fought for this. But you need to advance yourself. This is African American history advanced. You know, this is ADOS history advanced. You need to look into civil. And if civil don't seem right to you, you need to address civil. Because everybody else is in 2021 is getting more from civil than ADOS people. But nobody's fought harder for civil than ADOS people. And that's my opinion. Maybe it's yours. If it's not, you should probably go look into it. Yeah, but fuck civil. Happy Easter, bitches.
That's where it's at, man. Get money, stack money, and watch it all come back. Hey, it ain't nothing to flip, patting about some backs. Why? I got them boys all black with them sacks. Green in the bag and the camouflage hat. Yeah, camouflage jeans, shirt and shoes, all black. Yep, making more moves than the video game. Shit, my life's a DVD, so I got video fame. You can't be seeing me because I do those things. Count money, get money. Yep, it's all in the rain. It's all in the chain, you see the next piece shining. Got a rhinestone in sight, my nigga, these real diamonds. Yep, and you can find me shit all in the street. Yep, all that heat, when my bullets eat me. Chop, chop, yeah. Don't have my money, I pop, yeah. Y'all don't wanna see me break a nigga all proper. Sacks full of patch, double your patch with your slabs and your sacks and fall back and watch it all come back. Yep, it's to my niggas in the hood with the pack, man. Running all day, supplying all the pack, man. Keep on your feet and Bailey Street, that's where it's at, man. Get money, stack money, and watch it all come back. Hey, it's to my niggas in the hood with the pack.
Carter, serving up them 50 packs. My pistol like a charge, you can call it that Hemi Gap. Catch without a pistol's like fuck without a Jimmy Cap. Now let's take a ride, make the Reaper your chauffeur. Just be ready when I approach you, how you sleeping with gophers. My team like a beast, you can call us some vultures. Cause we come with big fire, knock your head off your shoulders. When you see me in that black man, fitted turn back man, in a whole black van. A couple shots wrong, you be laying on your back, man. Who is that man? Hood boy the villain? I catch you niggas chillin', putting bullets in your millions. I'ma show you how I'm living, I ain't talking BET. How you laying 6 feet deep in the eternal sleep, while my niggas creep these streets. Y'all niggas ain't G's, you don't want it with the beats.
Hey, it's to my niggas in the hood with the pack, man. Grinding all day, supplying all the pack, man. Keep on your feet and bang the street, that's where it's at, man. Get money, stack money, and watch it all come back. Hey, it's to my niggas in the hood with the pack, man. Grinding all day, supplying all the pack, man. Keep on your feet and bang the street, that's where it's at, man. Get money, stack money, and watch it all come back, man.